what we call a basilica. And yes, basilica means is an ancient Roman building, low court. And inside the low court buildings there was the statue of the emperor. There was the emperor's worship. It was Basileus, the king, the emperor. And so from Basileus, the king, the emperor, we call the building basilica. So very spacious, rectangular building.
Very spacious.
And and huge. And then the early Christians adopted this type of building from the Romans to create their first churches. And of course you imagine the Christian faith very important. And because to glorify God, they needed these very spacious churches. God is great, so that he had to be worshipped in these great buildings. And we go tomorrow in the morning in the Philippi, and there we see again huge churches, but of course the foundations, just very few. But this is exactly the style that you can see here performed in it complete. We have just one aisle, or like 3 aisle, 5 aisle, 7 aisle, 9 aisle basilicas, which means that the interior was separated by colonnades joined with columns joined with arches, and they divide the interior of these rectangular buildings in corridors, like 2 rows of columns in 3 corridors. We call it 3 aisle. If it is just one building without colonnade, it's 1 aisle basilica, a rectangular building. Then you see 2 rows, 3 aisle. 5 rows of columns, a 7 aisle basilica. So you see, and so we had always 3, 5, 7, 9 column, 9 aisle basilicas, okay? And later on, you see, as people did not have so much money to build all these huge churches, we don't see any more basilicas, but we have smaller structures that they have the cruciform style, the shape of the cross where Jesus was crucified, and in the middle of the cross we have the dome that symbolizes heaven where Jesus is. And so
呢度咧講緊咧東正教堂啊，天主教堂有咁嘅觀念㗎。如果高空望落去咧，成間教堂係十字形㗎，咁樣樣，你而家睇唔到嗬？係高空望落搭直升機望去咧，見到一個十字嘅教堂㗎。咁啊，中間咧有個當下有個嘅拱嘅咁嘅設計，代表heaven 啊，即係天堂啊嚇，即係天啊。咁啊，並且咧你見到咧佢哋有嘅走廊啊，咁樣咧，即係2條走廊有3隻眼咁樣樣。九龍塘有幾條走廊啊？九龍塘。香港台有幾條走廊㗎？
Fame